and welcome to the Bridge Show. And goodness gracious, what a show we have for you today and the rest of the week. So I say, let the show begin. Welcome to our IP studio that is in our basement in our HQ in Oslo, and welcome Rolf.
Thank you.
So here we are, we have a big week coming.
Yes, this is a huge week for us.
No kidding. And we are actually going to launch a series of products.
Yep.
And today, of course, we start with one of the most important ones.
Yep.
Shall we tell what it is, or shall we keep them on suspense a bit more?
Wait a bit.
Oh, well, let's wait a bit. So today is the breaking news, revealed in just a couple of seconds. And of course, on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, we'll be talking about the Power over Ethernet tabletop kit.
Yep, this is something that we feel really excited about, something that potentially could change how you wire the insides of a studio in terms of power.
It's very true. I'm super excited. I want to talk about it immediately, but maybe we should wait until tomorrow.
Yeah.
And there's not over yet, because on Thursday we are talking about the amazing widgets.
Yep, widgets.
Holy smokes! And the widgets is, you know, our HTML5 embedded video monitor.
Yeah, definitely. It's all HTML5 based. It's a piece of virtual hardware in a sense. It's something you can do stuff with that you could not do before.
That's very true, and we are doing some very exciting stuff with that. So that's Thursday. Don't forget to tune in on Thursday. And on Friday, we will do a relaxed recap of all the features that we've been talking about today.
Yeah.
With live demos.
Yes, exactly.
We'll have one of our trusted engineers demonstrating those systems for us. So yeah, this is great. So let's go straight to the breaking news.
Yep.
And you know, we had the VB330 for quite some time.
Yeah, it's the product itself is almost 10 years old now.
That's
I would say.
Very true. Yeah. And we started with it. The first product was, of course, a hardware embedded system.
Yeah, exactly. It was electronics that we made from the scratch and put our own software on it, and it's been very successful in a number of large cable operations, IPTV head ends, that kind of architecture.
Absolutely, no, it's been magnificent, and we also launched another model, because we have 3 different models of this.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the new stuff. I mean, it's a bit strange we talk about a 10-year-old product and say it's new, but it actually is, because if you look at the insides of it, it's the whole architecture inside has been optimized and optimized in a huge way for data flow. So now we're able to utilize different underlying platforms. So we started with a single embedded hardware. Now we have 3 different platforms that we can run it on instead. So what was 1 is now 3. So we have, of course, still the good old trusted embedded hardware, which is great for areas where you have constraints in terms of power usage or space.
Yeah, like you know, putting a full-blown server inside the point of presence or on a mountaintop.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that you don't necessarily want. You know? If you have helicopter-only access and you put your server up there on the mountaintop, then maybe that's not the smartest move.
That's very true.
Maybe not, yeah.
And then, of course, we have then the appliance.
Yeah, that's where we utilize standard server-based or hand-picked components that we pick from server architectures. And this gives us, of course, a huge increase in potential CPU power.
Yeah, of course. That's you know, with the Intel-based processors, you know, with megahertz and cores to the max.
Exactly. So, so that's the second architecture option now available for the customer. So, embedded, and then we have the appliance server, which is a ready-built server where we put the software on for you, and so you wouldn't even notice. You wouldn't have to get involved in the usual server install and all of that.
No.
You would just get the box, and it would be.
Well, it kind of it works out of the box, you can say.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
But we do have the third option because we see more and more people that want to place a lot of this in data centers.
Yeah, exactly. Virtualization and running the same type of probe applications on virtualized infrastructure, or even in cloud applications. There's a strong movement within that, and of course our platform is ready for that, and we have operating systems in it. So.
Yeah, but that's very true, because basically of course everything we do is software based, but we have then choice of two different hardware platforms and of course a software only platform.
Yeah, that's a bit of the exciting new here, even though it's an existing product, because with the version 6.0, which is the new stuff here.
The cat's already out of the bag.
No,
oh goodness, yes, you said it. So we are moving, you know, immediately to the VB3 Appliance.
Yep.
And of course, what we're talking about is then version 6. Yes, of course it is. Yeah. Holy Moses. We should put a cross in the ceiling, basically, because it's quite an improvement from the product 10 years ago.
Yeah, it doesn't look a lot, you know, it's just a number that steps up, but we're really excited on just working on it, because it's such a major step in both the architecture and the performance of the product, and also in the feature set. So.
And we have chosen to focus, or especially our engineering department has chosen to focus a lot on a specific number, which I kind of find interesting as well. And that number is, you know, 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000.
And what can you say about the number 1,000?
Yeah, it's just 1,000 of everything. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So now we can do 1,000 ETR engines.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah. And these are concurrently operating in parallel. We can do also very exciting, which is the content analysis option.
Yes.
That's something that by that we mean digging into the picture and looking at the picture itself, trying to detect things like black frame, freeze frame, audio silence, and also having machine algorithms look at trying to decipher the quality of the picture using standard algorithms like VMAF. And these things are then used to dig into the picture. So that's what we call the content option of the VB330.
And we can then do actually content checking on all 1,000 streams.
Yeah, that's radically new.
I say.
Something we would never had done before, so in a sense. So we're sort of combining the QE, which we just talked about, you know, digging into the picture and looking at it, with the QoS, which is looking at the structure of the streams, the quality of the streams. Yeah. So it's sort of all-in-one solution in that respect. Yeah,
because if we go back to the performance issue here and actually see, because I say that, you know, just yesterday on the version 5.6, it was pretty good performance there as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But of course, we have the next generation performance in version 6, and of course, you know, I'm pretty impressed by that. And as you can see from this graph, we have a 10-fold increase in the OTT engine capabilities.
Yeah, exactly. That's we forgot to mention that. That's exactly, of course, also one of the huge features here. You can now do also 1,000 TV channels and analyze them concurrently for in OTT adaptive bitrate type applications. Yeah. So perfect for large cable installations where they're moving to adaptive bitrate or just streaming applications on the internet.
Yeah, because channel count is going up, and then again with centralization you can do more on one platform, and again version 6 is amazing.
Yeah, it is truly an X in the ceiling kind of moment.
Yeah. So let's go back to quality of experience analysis, or the content option that we have basically there. And as you say, we do freeze frames, black frames, color frames, which is kind of significant, as you know, encoders and switch often to a color when they actually misbehave.
Yeah, exactly. Then it's quite a common scenario. You have a green picture and you wonder what that is.
Yeah, exactly. What's that green picture I can see over there? Right? Yeah. And of course, we can also do, you just talked about that a little, about the MOS scores.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's relevant, but a lot of people have done MOS scores with various degrees of success with kind of black boxes where you didn't really understand how that MOS score was derived.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's like a reference-based MOS scoring, which is the VMAF type applications where you're comparing against something that you know is 100%. So we do that on OTT, where we are using the highest bandwidth profile as the ideal or 100%, and then we score the underlying profiles against the top profile. So that's reference-based MOS scoring. We also do non-reference-based MOS scoring, and then it's a bit more tricky because then you have to have algorithms to guess or to machine guess the 100% ideal. And
So could we say then that we have some form of artificial intelligence in there?
Well,
well,
exactly.
Yeah. But it's created intelligence more than, well, it's very true. I'm sick and tired of the whole AI debate anyway, to be honest. But it's pretty advanced.
Yeah, it is. Basically what we did was score a database of clips, and we had human eyes scoring them, and then we built up a machine algorithm to try and match that as good as we could.
Yeah, and from what I hear, and I sometimes talk to the engineering themselves, and they're pretty proud of it.
Yeah.
Well, that was, of course, the content analytics, but we can go further because good old-fashioned transport stream encapsulation is by far still alive and kicking.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge cornerstone in the whole industry. So, and that's what we've always had in our products. And new now is, of course, again 1,000. So
this number keeps popping up. I say, 1,000 ETR engines.
Yeah, I saw a picture in the lab the other day where they had used this micro ETR, which is the visualization of what's going on inside a single engine. Of course, there are 1,000 of those now, and when we started out, we had one, and now there was like 1,000 of them in one single picture, which is...
that must be a lot of scrolling.
Yeah, well, it was... had to wear my biggest glasses.
Well, thank God you have search in the GUI as well. So, so yeah. But also, I would like to point out that it's just not very simple ETR checks. We do the full analytics on every single stream. Yeah,
priority 1, 2, 3, and there's also some additional special source tests that we've added over the years, in particular on CA systems and other areas. Yeah.
And of course you can use the Gold TS as well on all 1,000 streams.
Yeah, Gold TS is a way to make your own test pattern to be able to detect stuff that's not necessarily a fault, but things like language.
Yeah, we had one at the Wimbledon.
Yeah, exactly.
And where basically then everything was fine. It was all green because But the only problem was that the commentator was in German for the French market.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a good thing.
No, and then of course the Gold TS saved the day by actually warning about this.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it's designed for. Good.
1,000 ETR engines. Come on, 1,000 ETR engines. That's pretty horrific. And of course, we have back to the OTT because, well, there's 1,000 OTT streams that can be checked.
Yeah, exactly. And also, before it gets into the adaptive bitrate stage, there is an intermediate stage prior to that, which is at the head end typically. And
the transcoding?
Yeah, exactly, at the transcoding stage. And we have a new feature there called the encoder boundary pointer.
Yes, because that has to do with the alignment of the encoders towards the chunking process, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we're getting into details now, but that's exactly what it is.
Well, we are a bit geeky, so why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, so that's exactly what it is. So we can now correlate the different encoders generating the different profiles and time them against each other and alarm if they slip out of sync.
That's pretty cool. And again, it goes to the fact that what we try to do is, of course, to monitor absolutely anything in detail.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exciting stuff for commercial inserts and that kind of applications where it becomes important.
Well, it has to be correct. And of course, we forgot to mention that we also have SCT35, of course, on all this, which is also kind of nice to have.
Yeah. Monitor Q tones and commercial inserts. Yeah.
Well, we must go forward. We also have had, the L2TP or the massive upper encapsulation for DOCSIS systems for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we launched, I think, two and a half years ago.
Yeah, 2.5 years ago. Yeah. That's true.
And it's now in operations in a number of large cable operators where they are migrating their RF plant into a DOCSIS 3.0 or a 3.1 type architecture. And so then one of the issues are these so-called L2TP pipes. So basically just a huge big pipe of data that carries multiple transport streams within it. So one of the issues is, of course, how do you look inside this pipe?
Exactly.
It just looks like a huge big pipe of data, and there's no way to get in.
And that's also where the capacity increase becomes very handy, because you can analyze tons of them at one central location.
Yeah, so the 1,000 ETR engines you can then attach to the individual streams inside of that big pipeline of data going to the remote PHYs.
Holy macro! Well, and since we don't want to keep everybody up in suspense, etc., we will round off this detailed look by also talking about something that's gaining extreme importance, and that is security.
Yeah, I mean it's just becoming more and more critical.
And people connect these things also to the public internet.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it becomes very critical.
Yeah, it just needs to be robust and work all the time. And so we have, of course, some features in that. We've added into the VBC, our umbrella control system. We've added the TACAX Plus system, so you have a centralized way of managing login accounts. There's also, I mean, many of our products, or all of our products, are based on core Linux-based software, which is continuously being security enhanced. And
that's very true. And that means, of course, that certificate management and other kind of very advanced features is easy.
Yeah, exactly. So, so we are enjoying the benefits of that in a sense when it comes to security.
Cool, this is very nice. So, of course, every single day we have our mad musical genius to basically reflect on what we are talking about. And I believe that, well, if this doesn't render him speechless, absolutely nothing will. Let's go to Axel.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Axel. And I must say that it was a relief to have some quality music as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's rare to see him silent.
Yeah, it's very, very true.
We've said.
I think so. He was just astounded.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. We bit the tongue of Axel. It never happened before.
No.
Another cross in the roof. Yeah. But let's sum this up, because, you know, of course, we talked about all the functions now. And we just want to point out that, of course, all this is option-based.
Yeah, yeah. That's you start out with a base, and then you can add in either every direction you want, in a sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that means that you can start out with a pretty small system and then build it into large. It comes already with 20 gigabits. Oh, I'm sorry. Holy Moses! 20 gigabits of measurement ability.
Yeah. That's right out of the box.
That's a lot. But you can also upgrade it with a simple option to 50.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
50 gigabits.
Yeah, it's that's a lot of data.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! And of course, you know, it's pretty amazing performance. And of course, as we talked about, the software-only version, it's truly cloud-proof.
Yeah, that's also one of the exciting things here. I mean, you can run this on anything that can virtualize as a Linux-based system, basically. Yeah. So it could be on a VMware, or it could be on a switch. There are kind of interesting applications into that. We see a lot of the large networking vendors wanting to get into this area. And of course, we're ready for it.
Well, I think that sums it up pretty well. We are ready for it. So whatever kind of needs you have, and especially if you want massive capacity, well, look no further. We have in version 6 gone through the roof. Holy Moses, a 10-fold increase in most of it. Number is 1,000.
Yeah.
Yep, we've been talking about 1,000 basically. Try counting down from 1,000. It's a large number. So without further ado, I say thank you, Rolf, for joining me here on this exciting day. And basically, it's over and out from the IP studio here in Oslo.